Good morning, everyone. My name is Shijie, and I'm presenting Universal Apparel System. So the idea began a few years ago when I was living with my girlfriend, and one day we decided to merge our wardrobe to save space. And that opens up a new perspective, because when I see all the women's wear alongside my own collection, I think of new ways of dressing up. Previously, it's not that it's not possible, but when I don't think it, it doesn't go into my mind. So I think it's a perspective thing. So I began the pursuit of trying to unite a whole united wardrobe for a household. It could be multi-generation families, a group of friends who live in the same house. If they can all have their wardrobe merged together, it'll save a lot of space and open up a lot more possibilities. So the phase one of this journey is to, I look back at the ancient Greek way of dressing. So they used non-destructive rectangular fabric to wrap around. But I saw there's no modern functionality of these construction in these, and it's necessary. So I move on to the phase two, which I try to modify tailored clothes and add adjustability into the tailored clothes. But there is no way of shrinking an oversized garment into a smaller one without the hassle of the excess fabric, and there's no way to get rid of the excess weight. So I move on to the phase three, which is what Universal Apparel System is today. That's an interchangeable system with a few standardized connector sizes and a few different connector sizes. So I pitched the idea to my friend. The first question I got was, the sleeve shapes are all different. There are bigger shoulders, there are drop shoulders, and you can't force the oversized armhole onto everyone else. So I started working on the sleeves. The first thing I did is I moved the ease of the sleeve onto the sleeve part. For example, this one. So when you have the ease on the sleeve part, the side of the vest can stay flat, so it also looks flattering as a separate vest. And you can have the different steepness of the armhole, so you can have different sizes of the armhole. You can also modify the top. So there's still creativity, a lot of creativity left in the system to be modified and play with. If we want to put everything apart, there's changing in the product life cycle of this Universal Apparel System. So I thought about how it's changed from the traditional garment manufacturing, and in the design production process, the trend element can be separated into little pieces, because when you have a trend of a super large sleeve, you can have it separately made and ship it to the consumer. They don't have to commit to a whole new garment. And the same case with distribution, because everything is separate, the lapel and the suit, so you can have flat packings even for the suits. And the third pro of the system is I want to make it to lower the entrance to designer fashion. If we make it open source, then every designer can use the system to produce their own separate parts that integrate with the system. And there's a whole hierarchy of from luxury to high street brands. They can all integrate to the same system, produce from their own technique, but they all work together. It's a new level of sophistication of different like high street market and luxury brands working together. So I made the connector development kit, which is a book, that is for all the designers. I have smaller copies here. So it's for all the designers to integrate these ideas into their own designs and have it compatible with the Universal Apparel System that I already designed today. Go to the next slide. And I have it on the website that is free to download, and it will be constantly updated. This is version 1.01, and it will be updated as people email me contributing their proposal of the universal connectors. So we'll have an open source big project altogether. So this is how I position this project. So we have it from the ancient Greek culture wrapping around, then the clothes that made for individuals, into the haute couture, ready to wear. And this is not as universal as the ancient Greece, but it's more universal than all other categories. And to demonstrate, I not only developed the connector development kit, I did an internal collaboration with myself as a designer, and two collaboration with the other person. One is with Instagram photographer Monberet, and the other one is with the illustrator. They're not fashion designers, but because I saw this can be universally adapted to all kinds of creativity, I helped them all to realize their dream. Like this sleeve is the collaboration with Monberet, and it has different elements on the sleeve. It don't necessarily have to look flat on all the parts. Can you play the video? So here's the demo of when we shot the line sheets. We can pause it there. So as you can see, the lapels are all transferable. All the sleeves and the lapel are the standardized connector. However, all the circumference down in the bottom are different. For this one, it's a more of shirting size. It's a size small. It's graded by the visual effect. All the sleeves are the same too. This is a medium, so I have a larger circumference. I've had 3 to 4 sizes for now, but anyone can email me to contribute as it's an open source project. For collection 0 that you all have the catalog of is how I integrated some of the functionality that I see necessary in modern clothing. For example, when we set the suit pants pocket opens, where is the secure place to put your coins and keys? The back center pocket inspired by running shorts. There's even weight distribution, and it doesn't move when you sit, so it's more secure, and you have your backbone to support that pocket volume. And the same thing with transferring pocket, changing the chest pocket position, transferring the volume to the inside, adding the set, that kind of designs. It's a whole catalog of these designs I have with these functionalities in mind. And we moved on to the collection 1. With the photographer Maury, I had a little zine made document the process of how we collaborated together. Fittings, picking fabrics, and everything. And we move on to the next collection. It's inspired by an illustration story with illustrator Carol, and it's taken from this story and made these clothes out of all the visual elements and storylines. And thank you. Also, what's coming up here is a video of a collaboration with SVA Masters. I contributed my clothes because they're real clothes for real people to wear. It wasn't any designed to fit my concept, but they used the clothes to shop this fashion film.
We can start questions.
Yes, it'll be on mute.
You started your presentation with the thought of the household being able to interchange these different garments or these different pieces.
Yes.
Do you think at the point you've got to now, as you've realised your design, that intention is still there?
Yes.
And is that still the core of what you're wanting to get out of these clothes?
It is, because I forgot to say that after I merged my wardrobe with my girlfriend, there are a couple of issues I had with it. For example, a white shirt. She had a white shirt with more flare sleeve. And I thought it was feminine, but the best part is perfectly fine. But that's how I ended up moving into the interchangeable system, because there are elements that I thought didn't fit me, but I can swap it out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I'm just thinking about the people who are in my own personal household, and now obviously we've got very different tastes, even though we're under the same umbrella. I'm just imagining this could be a distribution nightmare. If you get these key components, I mean, how much? I'm just thinking of with just a very kind of industry head on here. It's like you're designing these pieces that are in multi-sized, perhaps different colours, different fabrics, different scales. Then yeah, I want a new pair of sleeves for the next season. It's like you're going to have an awful lot of stock in that factory.
The sleeve connectors are all universal. Okay. It's all graded by the visual sizes. So the circumference here is the same, but you change the underarm curve to make the different armhole. And the length of it is sometimes marked as not here, but as a number next to the small, medium, large size. So you can actually measure up the length for the sleeves.
So on a seasonal or annual basis, how often would you bring in new aesthetics or new styles into these actual components of these garments?
That depends on the collaboration.
Okay,
the first one,
it's purely collaboration, or you wouldn't be setting yourself as the design?
I wouldn't be setting myself as a designer. I'm a facilitator of the whole project. I did my own first collection just to demonstrate. Then I did 2 collaborations to demonstrate more how it can be created and how it can be coming into the system. And they don't need any of my permission because it's open source. and everything is up on the website. They can just go on and do their own. They don't need a license.
So in a UAS utopia, we are sort of buying elements or pieces that we're sort of adding to our closet and to our current garments, and so retail becomes not garments per se, or the idea of garments, but then a system of elements that we're creating our own kind of garments with. Is that?
It could be. It could be a new way of DIYing your clothes without the knowledge of sewing. And you can also take your vintage favorite sweater to like us to change it into a UAS adaptable piece, so you can lengthen the life cycle of that piece too.
And buy new sleeves for it a year from now, or buy if it's adapted into the system.
Yeah, if you have a vest that fits the sleeve, you can take your old sweater and we make it that is adaptable to the ones we already have. So you don't have to like buy more extra stuff.
Got it. Really interesting.
Quick question, did you come to school thinking that you would create a systems idea, or did you come to school thinking, I'm going to be a designer, I'm going to have a collection?
I wanted to do product design before I went.
Okay.
And it kind of came back to me at my CV here, so that's what.
You have a great idea. It's an amazing idea. And as a thinker, which you actually are, you're ahead of the curve. So I think your challenge is going to be to have the entry point be sort of simple and know what the long haul is, but so that people can actually, because I love the idea, like having a sweater that can become a vest, or it can become a midriff top, or with the change of seasons, something like that. But an entry system, so you can take whoever you're working with on the long road that you've already imagined. So I think that's key. Like, give someone an easy way to step into your world and then take them on the journey. But congratulations, it's a great idea.
Adding to the sweater point, I thought now more intentional to buy like a jacket that can be worn all season, because people are doing global travel and there's no obvious seasonality of things. So if they can all do detachable and to change the temperature, everything around it, I think it fits the globalization trend that we're having today.